Welcome to Mr. Marr History. In today's episode, we are discussing the Advanced Higher History course. Specifically, we're looking at source questions and how to answer the how much question. How much questions are worth 16 marks. The marks are divided up as follows. You may wish to answer these like a how fully question, which you've previously done at National 5 and higher. You can get 1 mark for giving a valid piece of information, covering the following. There's up to 6 marks available when you identify relevant facts from the source. Please note that you will get a maximum of 3 marks per source. You can gain a further 8 marks for discussing relevant information from your own knowledge which isn't included in the source but helps answer the question. This can relate to giving context to facts from either of the sources or discussing points which are not covered at all in the sources. And finally, there's 2 marks available for explaining what historians believe on this particular issue. As has been noted, these are very similar to a how fully question, and as such you may wish to answer using a similar format. Aid takes us to the answer. We answer the question first, discussing how much the sources agree or disagree about the overall topic. We then go to the I from Aid, which is includes, and you simply want to give information from the sources and show how they're relevant to the question. And finally, the D for Aid talks about what it doesn't include. This is where you can give information from your own knowledge and also the views of historians. Let's look at some possible answer layout options so you're clear exactly what you need to do. One approach would be to simply give 3 relevant facts from source A, a further 3 relevant facts from source B, and then 8 points which can relate to either source or none of them, and then 2 historians' views. This would give us our 16 marks. However, another approach might be to talk about 3 points from source A, then give 4 points developing this from your own knowledge, 3 points from source B, and give a further 4 points from your own knowledge. Finally, we can give 2 views of historians. And another approach, 3 facts from source A, 6 points from your own knowledge in relation to this, 3 facts from source B, 2 points from your own knowledge, and finally 2 historians' views. The key point to take from this is very simple. There is a maximum of 3 marks available for interpreting each source, then the 8 points from your own knowledge can be divided up as you wish. There are, in all cases, 2 opportunities to discuss historians' views. Remember, when you quote from sources, this is the best way to go about it. You have to explain exactly why the quote is relevant. One way to do this, give the quote and then show what it proves, linking back to the question. For instance, source A says X, which shows that, and then explain exactly what this proves in terms of the question. Let's look at an example question drawn from the Germany topic. As is obvious, we have 2 sources to look at. In this case, one of them, source C, is from Hitler's speech to the Reichstag. Source D is from the book The Third Reich by D.G. Williamson. And the question asks us how much the 2 sources reveal about the differing views on the role of the Enabling Act in the Nazis consolidating their power between 1933 and 1934. So, using one of the systems we suggested, we start out with our answer where we give an overall summary of what sources C and D believe about both points. We then go on to interpret 3 facts from source C. Again, we give the quote, and then we explain exactly what this proves in terms of the question. Here you can see where we found those 3 quotes. So far we would have 3 marks. We then talk about information that's missing from source C, and we give facts from our own knowledge. In this case we've gone for 4, but we could have given more or less. We then give 3 facts that are included in source D. Again, we give the quote and we explain the relevance of each of them. Here's where we found the quotes. We then go on, given that there's 4 marks left now, to give 4 points from our own knowledge, which again further contextualise and talk about what's in the sources. Lastly, we give 2 information from the historiography. We talk about what 2 historians believe about the overall topic. This gives us our 16 marks. Let's look at the answer in summary. We start off by giving an overall summary about what the two sources believe about the issue named in the question. We go on to give up to 3 facts from source C, giving the quote and then explaining its relevance. In this case, we then give 4 facts from our own knowledge. We give a further 3 facts which are included from source D, again explaining their relevance. A further 4 marks from our own knowledge, 8 in total. And finally, we give 2 historians' views. This is our 16 marks. Advanced Higher History, how to answer source questions, specifically the how much question. It's really that simple.